Is it perfect? Yeah, right. Little over here. Oh yes, it's perfect. Which side? Hey guys, which side do you see the arrow pointing? To your right or to your left? For me, it's pointing to your left. Yeah, it's pointing to your left and my right because we're facing the opposite direction, of course. How does this work? What is it? Let me remove this. Wow, you see it. It's pointing to your left right now. Before it was pointing to your right. Yeah. Wow, that's so cool, right? How does this work? Watch this video to learn how to do 2 easy experiments with water at home. Let's start. For this experiment, you'll need a transparent glass, a piece of paper. I've marked an arrow which is pointing to the left and I've wrote left on the top of that. But for me it's right because I'm facing the opposite side. But if I tilt it again over here, it's going to face the left. So, and you can see that I've put some tape here, right? It's double-sided tape. So if I remove this piece of paper, I'll be able to stick it to this mug. And you can use any object instead of this mug. I'm just using a mug. And then you just have to put this piece of paper on the cup like that. Now what do you see through the glass? You're seeing through the glass, right? What do you see? It's marked left, right? Let's see. This is when the magic happens. Let's fill this cup with water. Okay, you see this cup, right? Remember I told you it's going to point to your left. Yeah, it's going to point to your left. Yes. So now let's see what happens when I just put this in front of a cup filled fully with water. What do you see? Which side is it pointing? This side or this side? It's supposed to point right over here because that must be your left, right? This is your left. But it's pointing to the right, right? Let's remove this glass. Wow, you see that? It's pointing to the left. It's pointing to your left. But when I put this glass right in front of this cup, you see that it's pointing to the right? Wow, cool, right? That was our first experiment. Now let's move on to our next mind-blowing experiment with water. For your second experiment, you're going to need any object. I'm using a Rubik's Cube because it's the best example. And one more circular object. It should be a sphere. So I'm using this crazy ball right here. And don't use an object like this. It's going to break. It might break, while you're doing this. So it's best you use objects that won't break and fall. So I'll be using this cube and this small crazy ball. First, we're going to have a speed test. I'm going to push these both objects with my hand at the same speed. And let's see which goes more further. I just pushed it, but it went so much. Now let's push the same way. See, it only went like that. Only this much distance covered, about 1 centimeter, I guess. Now let's see what happens with water. Put a little water down. Oops. Okay, there you go, water is there. Now I'm going to roll this ball with the same speed I did before. It's moving more further, right? Let's see with the cube. It moved so far, right? See that? How does that happen? It's because of some science term called friction. How does this happen? Friction happens because when two surfaces rub against each other. So this table is rubbing against this cube. So when that happens, there's going to be a force that applies on the opposite direction. So if the cube is going like this, friction will come from this side. You cannot see it, and it will try to stop it. Look, it just stops. But if you put it on the water, it just moves. Why? Because water, when you put a object on the surface of water, it lessens the friction. So basically, if there is 0.1 friction on the, 2.2% friction on this table, then over here it must be about 0.1%. So that's why if you have a long slide of water coming from here to the other end of the table, then if you just push it with this much force, I bet it's going to go till there, because water lessens the friction. So if it keeps going like this and meets a new water body, it just keeps going. Better not wet my Rubik's Cube. So that's how friction happens, and it was very easy to do this experiment. You're only going to need a 3D object and some water. Now, thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed this. Remember to try these experiments at home, and thanks for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel.